Good morning, students. Say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students. So take your social science book. Take page number 165. So today we will move to the next topic, livestock. Okay, so what do you mean by livestock? So nothing but the farm wealth of a farmer. So livestock means nothing but farm animals recorded as wealth or property. So the farm animals grown by a person. So livestock, so it is an integral component of the farming system in India. So apart from growing crops, so people also involved in rearing cattle. Okay, so livestock is an integral component of farming system in India. So the livestock sector is socially and economically very significant. So the livestock sector is socially, economically very important because of its multifunctional output. Because through livestock, so we get milk, we get meat, then we get wool. So multifunctional output. And also it contribute a lot to socio-cultural security. So it gave a security for the poor people. And also it also helps to improve food and nutritional security by providing nutrient-rich food products, generate income and employment. So it help to improve food and nutritional security by providing nutrient-rich food products, generate income and employment, and act as a cushion against crop failure and provide draft power and manure inputs to the crop subsector. So during any crop failure, so it provide some compensation. And also it provide manure. So agriculture manure. So we get from the waste products of some cattle. Okay, so they provide manure to the crop sector also. Okay, so livestock is an integral component of the farming system. So today's class we will discuss about the livestock. So just to recall what we have discussed in our previous class. So in our previous class we discussed about the cash crop, plantation crop, and also the horticulture crops. So what are the cash crops? What do you mean by cash crops? The crops which are cultivated for commercial purpose are called cash crops. So what are the cash crops we have discussed? Sugar cane, cotton, jute and oil seeds. Then plantation crops. So they are cultivated for export. So they are mainly cultivated for the purpose of export. So the plantation crops, so they are cultivated in the hilly slopes only. So some of the plantation crops were tea, coffee, rubber and spices. Okay, so we have discussed the region which they grow under the leading state. So both in cash crop and plantation crops we have discussed the leading state and also the largest producer and also the position of India in the production. Then finally we discussed about horticulture. So horticulture means nothing but cultivation of fruits, flowers and vegetables. Okay, so apart from food crop, cash crop and plantation crops, so farmers also cultivate fruits, flowers and vegetables. So such practice is called as horticulture. So we have discussed horticulture crops also. Okay, so today we will move to the livestock. So nothing but livestock, so integral component of the farming system. So livestock nothing but the rearing of cattle and farm animals is the livestock. Okay. So cattle constitute 37.3% of livestock population in India. So cattle constitute 37.3% of livestock population in India. India has the second largest cattle population after Brazil at world level. So at world level, so Brazil, so a country in South America. So Brazil, it is in South America continent. Okay, so Brazil leads the world largest cattle population. So India ranks second in cattle population. So cattle population in India belongs to different breeds. So breeds means, so you can say varieties. So like in plants we say hybrid varieties. No. Here we can say so many genetic varieties. Okay, so cattle population in India belongs to different categories. These include milch breed, draft breed, third one mixed or general breed. So milch breed means it denotes milk. So those livestock, so those cattle, so which are grown for milk, they are referred as milch breed. Then draft breed, so they are grown for other purposes, for commercial purpose. So they are used for ploughing, they are used for pulling the goods. Okay, they are used as a transport. Okay, so such a type of cattle is referred as draft breed. So mixed or general breed means, so it was used for both. So both used as a milch breed and also draft breed. Okay, so cattle constitute 37.3% of livestock population in India. Okay. Then goats. So the goat is the poor man's cow, providing milk, meat, skin, and hair. So goat, it is considered as the poor man's cow. So it provides milk, meat, skin, and hair. It is the main source of meat for the country. So goat is the main source of meat for the country. So goat is referred as poor man's cow. Then buffaloes. So buffaloes, so they are an important source of milk supply for India. So when compared to cow, so buffaloes are important source of milk supply for India. So Uttar Pradesh has the highest number of buffaloes. So total percentage 28.2%. So total buffaloes population. So Uttar Pradesh has the highest number of buffaloes, followed by Rajasthan 9.6% and Andhra Pradesh 7.9%. So buffaloes, they are the important source of milk supply for India. So Uttar Pradesh has the highest number of buffaloes, so 28.2%, followed by Rajasthan 9.6% and Andhra Pradesh 7.9%. Okay. So dairy, meat, and wool production. So cattle, goats, buffaloes. So the livestock. Okay, so the first livestock census in India was conducted with the title of Dairy Cattle Census in 1919. So livestock. So we have discussed now that buffalo population. Okay, so how they calculate the livestock census? So they conduct the livestock census in India in the year 1919 with the title of Dairy Cattle Census. Okay, so how livestock census conducted in Tamil Nadu? State government is conducting livestock census with the help of Department of Animal Husbandry at state level and regional joint director at district level under the guidelines of Government of India Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fisheries. Okay, so in Tamil Nadu, so state government is conducting the livestock census. So with the help of Department of Animal Husbandry at state level. Okay, then dairy, meat and wool production. So according to 2016-17 census held by state and UT means Union Territory. So according to 2016 census held by the state Union Territory Animal Husbandry Department, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so the census was conducted by the department, Animal Husbandry Department from Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so while looking at the meat, Uttar Pradesh is the leading producer following Maharashtra and West Bengal. So in meat production, Uttar Pradesh is the leading state. So the leading state in wool production is Rajasthan. So Uttar Pradesh leads in meat production, Rajasthan leads in wool production. Okay. Then fisheries. So fisheries in India are a very important economic activity and a flourishing sector. So flourishing means developing sector. With varied resources and potential, with varied resources and capabilities. So fishing in India is a major industry in its coastal states and employing over 14 million people. So fishing an important economic sector. So and is a developing one. Okay, so fishing important activity especially in the coastal states. Okay, so it employs more than 14 million people. So India produces about 3% of world fish and occupies second place among the fish producing nations after China. So India produces about 3% of world fish and occupies second place in fish production next to China. It also helps in augmenting food supply, generating employment, raising nutritional level, and earning valuable foreign exchange. So it also helps in improving food supply. It also provides food supply, then generate employment in the coastal region, and also raise nutritional value and increases the foreign exchange. So in India, fishing is categorized into two types. So one is marine or sea fisheries, second one is inland or freshwater fisheries. So in India, fishing is categorized into two types. So marine or sea fishing, then second one inland or freshwater fishing. So fishing an important sector, so which is a developing sector. So totally, so more than 14 million people involved in fishing activity. So India contribute 3% of world fish and occupies second place. And also India also helps in so fishing helps in augmenting food supply, generating employment, raising nutritional value, and also earn valuable foreign exchange. So first, marine or sea fisheries. So nothing but so fishing activity in the sea. So it includes coastal, offshore, and deep sea fisheries, mainly on the continental shelves. So continental shelf, continental slope. So we have studied in 9th standard in the hydrosphere lesson. So the region between continent crust and oceanic crust. So the region between continent. So the land mass to the depth of the ocean. So that is continental shelf. So continental shelf. So fishing activity mainly take place in the continental shelf. See, in India, Kerala leads in the marine fish production. So in India, Kerala leads in the marine fish production. Then inland or freshwater fisheries. So rivers, lakes, canals, reservoirs, ponds, tanks, etc. are the sources of freshwater fisheries. So rivers, lakes, canals, reservoirs, ponds, tanks, etc. So they are the sources of freshwater fisheries. So fishing activity which takes place in the interior of the state. So not in the coastal region, but in the interior of the landmass or in the state means then it is called as inland or freshwater fisheries. About 50% of the country's total fish production comes from the inland fisheries. So about 50% of country's total fish production so comes from so inland fishing. So apart from sea fishing, so inland fishing also very important. So they also provide an important contribution to our economy. So Andhra Pradesh, the leading producer in India. Yes, in inland fishing, Andhra Pradesh leads first. In marine fishing, Kerala leads, but in inland fishing, Andhra Pradesh leads. In India, the important varieties of fishes caught by the fishermen are catfish, herrings, mackerels, perches, eels, mullets, etc. In India, the important varieties of fishes so caught by the fishermen are catfish, herrings, mackerels, perches, eels, mullets, etc. So we have discussed about the livestock. So livestock is nothing but the integral component of the farming system in India. So farm animals, so which are recorded as the wealth or property. So livestock is an integral component of the farming system in India. We discussed about cattle, goats, buffaloes, and also the fisheries. So fisheries is divided into two types: marine or sea fisheries, inland or freshwater fisheries. Next, the major issues faced by the farmers in India. So the last topic in this lesson. So the problems so faced by farmers in India. So what are the problems? So what are the issues faced by the farmers in India? You can say something. They won't get enough profit. So the main reason. So they won't get enough profit. So there is no proper storage facilities. Then it involves more capital. So we have to invest more capital so for agriculture. Then so because of the continuous uses of chemical fertilizers, the fertility of the soil get reduced. Then another one important thing is so because the most of the farmers in India were poor, so they can't use the modern techniques. So the modern machines they can't use. So they depend on so labors. So nowadays so the labor problem. So they can't get so labors for their field. So there are several problems so faced by the farmers in India. So we will discuss one by one. So first one, small and fragmented land holdings. So the problem of small and fragmented holding is more serious in densely populated and intensively cultivated states in India. So India is a huge populated state. So we stand second in population. But the area, so agriculture area is getting diminished. So the most of the farmers hold less than 2 acres of land. So their land area is getting diminished. So because the population is increasing. So most of the farmers have small land only. So they have only a low area of land for agriculture, for their agriculture activities. So because more than 60% of the Indian population now also depends on agriculture. So small land holding. So it was the main problem faced by the farmers. So because India is densely populated. So for the whole population, so the agricultural land we have is not enough. Then high cost of input. So already I told you, the investment is more. So good quality seeds are out of reach for many small and marginal farmers due to their high price. So the good quality seeds, so they are in high price. So basically they are sold in high price. So it was not reached by. So it was out of reach for the many small and marginal farmers. So good quality seeds are out of reach for the many small and marginal farmers due to their high price. So small and marginal farmers, they can't get good quality seeds. Even though so nearby their agriculture marketing area, they can get, means it was high in price. So that they can't buy. So because the small farmers, they are mostly poor farmers. So they can't buy so good quality seeds. So because of their high price. Then infertile soil. So the fertility of the soil get reduced. Indian soils have been used for growing crops over thousands of years without caring much for replenishing. So replenish means so to make something full again by replacing what has been used. So they were not replenished. Because Indian soils were used for agriculture more than thousands of years. So so India is famous for its agriculture products only. So Indian soils have been used for growing crops so over several thousand years. So but the farmers didn't care about the fertility of the soil. So this led to depletion and exhaustion of soils resulting in low productivity. So because of the continuous process of cultivation. So over many thousands years, so farmers used agriculture land for cultivation. So they never tried to improve the fertility of the soil. So since they are cultivating the soil so continuously, so the soil has lost its fertility. So which led to depletion and exhaustion of the soil result in low productivity. So Indian soils have been used for growing crops over thousands of years without caring much for replenishing. So this has led to depletion and exhaust. So depletion means to reduce something by a large amount so that there is not enough left. So depletion. So they want to get more yield. So for that they use more fertilizers. So that reduces the fertility of the soil. And exhaustion, to use of all things so that nothing is left. So they want to get more profit. So they want to improve the crop production only. So they never try to improve the fertility of the soil. So that result in low productivity. Since the fertility of the soil get reduced, it result in low productivity. Then irrigation. So lack of irrigation. So irrigation means artificial supply of water. So already, so in the beginning of the lesson we have discussed. So after the soil we have discussed about the irrigation method in India. So but in India only 1/3 of the cropped area falls under irrigated area. So in India only 1/3 of the cropped area falls under irrigated area. To make agriculture reliable, so irrigation facility has to be developed. So irrigation is necessary for Indian agriculture because Indian agriculture depends on rainfall, so which is seasonable. So rainfall won't occur all the time in a year. So during rainy season only we get rainfall. Or sometimes during rainy season itself, the rainfall may get failure. Okay. So irrigation is necessary. So but in India, only 1/3 of the cropped area falls under irrigated area. So to make agriculture reliable, that is reliable means that can be trusted to do something well. So to make agriculture a trusted one, irrigation facility has to be developed well. Then lack of mechanization. So mechanization means farmers are not ready to use the modern instruments. So they are not using the modern instrument. So in spite of the large scale mechanization of agriculture in some parts of the country, most of the agriculture operations in larger parts are carried on by human hand using simple and conventional tools. Since we have modern methods, so modern techniques and also modern instrument. So for cultivation, for harvesting, so for various purposes there were machines. But they were used only by a few people only. So the mechanic instruments, so the agriculture instruments were used only by few people only. So most of the agriculture operations in larger part of the country carried on by human hand only. So they depend on human sources only. So farmers depend on human sources. So they never go for mechanization. Because sometimes the cost of mechanization may be high, or sometimes the farmers have no knowledge how to reach, how to get the mechanical instruments. Okay, so they have no knowledge, so they lack the knowledge about the mechanization. So they use simple and conventional tools. Okay, so in spite of large scale mechanization of agriculture in some parts of the country, most of the agricultural operations in larger parts are carried on by human hand using simple and conventional tools. Soil erosion. So the fertility of the soil get reduced, and also get loosened means soil erosion. So large tract of fertile land suffer from soil erosion by wind and water. So large area of fertile land soil suffered by the erosion. So because of the action of wind and water. Then agricultural marketing. So due to the absence of sound marketing facility, the farmers have to depend on local traders and middlemen for the disposal of their farm products, which is sold at low price. Okay, so agriculture marketing. So the farmers don't know how to sales their product. So how to sales their agriculture products. So they don't know about the marketing. So because of the absence of marketing facility, so because of the absence of knowledge about marketing facility, so the farmers have to depend on the local traders and middlemen for their products to sell. So for their farm product to sell, which is sold at a low price. So besides, there is a fluctuation in the prices of agricultural products. So sometimes, there is a fluctuation. So sometimes the price get increased. Sometimes the price get reduced. So even though the price get increased means, there is no profit for farmers. So sometimes you heard the news. So some vegetable product price get increased. So now also so the price of onion went on increasing. What was the cost of onion now? So almost 100 rupees. So in some area, so they sell it for 110 rupees. But the farmers who cultivate the onion, so they get profit? No. So the profit goes only to the local traders and middlemen. So because the farmers, they don't know the marketing. So maybe some farmers in a local area may get profit, but commonly, most of the farmers have no profit. Okay, so agriculture marketing is a major issue. Then inadequate storage facility. So there is no proper storage facility for the agricultural products. So because agricultural products may get damage soon. Okay, so storage facilities in the rural areas are either totally absent or grossly inadequate. So storage facilities in rural areas, that is in village areas, are either totally absent or grossly inadequate. So that is not proper. So under such conditions, the farmers are compelled to sell their products immediately after the harvest, irrespective of the condition of the market. So even though some farmers know about the marketing facility, they have to sell it. So even though there is low price. So because they can't store their product because so inadequate storage facility. So storage facility in rural areas are absent or inadequate. So under such conditions, the farmers are forced or compelled to sell their products immediately after the harvest, irrespective of the condition of the market. So some farmers, so they want to sell their farm product at good price. So they want to wait for their time. So they want to wait for the time for increasing the market value. But because so there is no storage facility, they were forced to sell their products. Then inadequate transport. So one of the main handicaps. So handicap means to make something more difficult for somebody to do so. So to make something more difficult. So the main handicap with Indian agriculture is the lack of cheap and efficient means of transport. So transport in rural areas was not developed well. So because of the lack of cheap and efficient transport, so it was difficult for the farmers to transport their farm products. So because of inadequate transport, it was very difficult for the farmers. So one of the main handicap with Indian agriculture is the lack of cheap and efficient means of transport. Then the scarcity of capital. So already I told you. So agriculture require huge capital. So agriculture is an important industry which requires a huge capital. The role of capital plays a major role in the purchase of advanced farm machineries and equipments. So the farmers so need huge capital. So for ploughing the field. So that is for clearing the field, and also for getting the seeds. So the seeds of the crops, and also for using the machineries and equipments. So they need huge capital. So but most of the farmers in India were poor. So it was difficult for them. So and also they can't get credit at right time. So the farmers so who need credit, so they were not provided with the credit at proper time. So the scarcity of capital. So these are the problems so faced by the farmers of India. Okay students, so we have discussed about the major issues faced by the farmers in India. So the small and fragmented land holdings, high cost of input, infertile soil, lack of irrigation, lack of mechanization, soil erosion, agricultural marketing, inadequate storage facility, inadequate transport, and scarcity of capital. Okay, so the class over. So we have discussed Indian agriculture. So if you have any doubt in this lesson, so please contact me. So today's textbook reading. Take page number 166. Read that major issues faced by the farmers in India. So read all the headings and try to remember any 5 heading with the points. So maybe they ask in exam. It is not a book bag. But they may ask as interior question. So there are totally 11 heading is there. So try to study at least 6 heading. So that you can write 5 heading. So try to read 6 or 7 heading. So if you can't read all the heading means very good. So you are a very good and obedient student. Then homework. So take page number 168. The 8th question, 9th question. 8th question, what do you mean by livestock? So page number 165. The 9th question, write a brief note on the categories of fisheries in India. Page number 165 and 166. So 8th question, take page number 165. So livestock. So 3.5, 165, 3.5 heading livestock. You have to write that heading paragraph fully. Okay, So livestock is an integral component of the farming system in India. The livestock sector is socially and economically very significant due to its multifunctional output and contribution to social cultural security. It also helps to improve food and nutritional security by providing nutrient-rich food products, generate income and employment, and act as a cushion against crop failure, provide draft power and manure inputs to the crop sector. So this is the answer for 8th question. Then 9th question, write a brief note on the categories of fisheries in India. Page number 165. Saying that the last, so the fisheries heading, that last 2 point. In India, fishing is categorized into 2 types. They are marine or sea fisheries, inland or freshwater fisheries. Then come to next page. So first, marine fisheries. It include coastal, offshore and deep sea fisheries mainly on the continental shelf. Kerala leads in the marine fish production. Then second, inland or freshwater fisheries. Rivers, lakes, canals, reservoirs, ponds, tanks, etc. are the sources of freshwater fisheries. So they repeated the word freshwater 2 times. So strike out one. So freshwater, any one. Yeah. Then the second point, so the last line of the paragraph. Andhra Pradesh is the leading producer in India. So we have marked the 2 marks. So soon I will give you the give reason, distinguish between, and 1 mark questions. So I think you have got the timetable. So the next exam, so term exam timetable. So be prepared. So already we have completed 3 lessons in history, then 3 lessons including this lesson in geography, and 1 lesson in civics. So be prepared for your exam. So do well your exams. So thank you. Have a nice day.